Jesse, do a fucking background. Do like rolling mountains.
No, not mountains.
And then do the...
Drew is a little excitable today. Can you put him in like a peaceful lake or a pond?
Ah.
Yes, or beach. Oh, beach
In my own lane.
Beach sounds, we all
moisturized. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Skill Check. Today we're doing another tier list. We're gonna be ranking all of the definitive tier list of all of the cantrips in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Yes, including some off the beaten path ones and generally ones that are less taken, so forgive us for looking stuff up.
How are you, Ryan?
I'm great. You know what I really want to do is spend 45 minutes talking about True Strike, but I'm gonna hold back the urge.
I don't even care if you're around. I will make a True Strike rant video by myself if I have to. And thanks to whoever made this tier list. This is the best one by far. It has black backgrounds and the letters are easy to read. You're a king or a queen or a monarch. All right, Frostbite first up.
Have you ever seen anyone use this spell?
Nope, never. Not once.
I find it interesting. It's a save or suck spell, which basically means you either save and nothing happens, or you don't and you get the benefit. It's cool. It's got a little damage. It's got disadvantage on an attack, but I think it's fine. Almost always, this would be like never taken by me personally.
Yeah, unless I'm playing an ice wizard.
Well, yeah, like an ice bad guy would take it
Yeah.
for flavor. What are you feeling?
I am putting it in F for Frostbite because I'm never gonna take the spell. I mean, it's a damage spell and it just kind of is that.
C for me, I like the disadvantage on attacks. I think that's interesting.
60 feet.
Oh yeah, 60 feet.
All right, moving on to Message. This one's kind of an ancient classic.
Yep. How do you feel about it?
I freaking love Message.
Yeah, Message is good.
I'm just gonna put it in A. I don't think it's S tier, but like, here's the thing. A lot of people don't know that they need Message until they have someone with Message on the team, and then they're like, whoa, this makes so many things so easy.
It does, but I also find that some of the most creative uses for this really get players involved in roleplay, especially ones that haven't before. And they're like, oh, we can have a secret conversation. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put this in A as well and see where we end up.
I think that's good. Mold Earth.
Mold Earth.
I have a history with Mold Earth.
Oh, please go ahead. I think I do too.
Played a Polynesian-inspired halfling wizard who did earthbending.
That's cool.
Mold Earth changed my entire view of the planet.
Do you mean literally you changed the planet?
Yeah, I mean in a very literal way. Yes.
It is one way for a somewhat magical person to do a large amount of mundane labor faster than everything else.
Well, yeah, but I also had a great time creating like half cover and like putting ruts into the ground and stuff like that. Was a lot of fun.
This seems like a cool spell for like almost like a futuristic arcane combat person who's like running around and shooting and you make like a wall first.
This only does soft earth, it doesn't do stones, but like still, it's so
and it's
I'm S tier.
The non-com effects of this, you can make like pitfall traps and stuff like that. I'll put it in B for now.
Understandable.
Cool.
Sword Burst.
Oh.
Do you know this one?
I do know this one, but I've also never seen anyone actually take it. How
you make a burst of swords.
Yeah. There's a few of these like 5-foot self cantrips. It's like, get back. And I think that's like so neat. But like, if someone's next to you and you're like a caster, my brain is like, I must flee and not like I fight.
My opinion of Sword Burst is that there's like infinite better things to take.
I think one class that I would definitely take this on and one like playstyle is the Iron Man Artificer. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't see a lot of use. So I'll go C. There's better.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it into C as well.
Would be cool on Iron Man.
It's just super cool sounding.
Yeah, it
is
is
the cool part.
Yeah.
Acid Splash. Okay, Acid Splash has the unique ability, I think it may be the only cantrip that can hit multiple targets with one cast. If they're within 5 feet of each other, you can hit 2 people.
Definitely. Raw, I think you might be right. There's a few creative things like create bonfire, I guess. Like if people run through the door.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think you might be right about that.
I'm putting it in B tier. I think it's really cool. I think that people sleep on Acid Splash and Poison Spray in the same way because they're like, oh, it's the most resistant damage type in the whole game. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't happen. Your Dungeon Master will never remember their resistances. You're gonna be fine.
I don't have a statistically appropriate representation of resistances in my games. I don't like look at the table of all the monsters and be like, which, what am I gonna randomly roll? I put monsters in for like what you're doing.
Exactly.
So, if this is like an urban environment, like people don't generally resist poison. Nope. I think multi-hit is B for badass.
Yeah, I think the multi-hit is so huge. Magic Stone.
Magic Stone.
This is a funny one.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to Nickel and Dime.
Oh, yeah.
This is such a fun dwarf spell.
Yeah, super true. And like just the idea that You're walking around, you're like, I need more ammunition. Yes, my rocks.
Rock, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Feels in the same vein of like telekinesis to me. It's like my power, I move little objects.
Super true.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I also think that this falls into a subcategory of spells that could reasonably cast by someone who doesn't actually do any magic. Like, magic stone! And just you fucking hit them in the head. Like, fireball, you can just create a pipe bomb and it's like,
Are you
yay.
describing all those funny wizard classes that are just barbarians with like a box of gunpowder?
Yes.
Yeah, I cast knife, I cast rock. Yeah,
I cast punch.
That's true.
No.
If you've never
no
played like a zero intelligence barbarian who thinks they can do magic, it's so truly delightful.
Yep.
I'm cool with. It's better than Molder for me, so high B.
Okay, high B it is.
Reserving judgment for the bad boys, you know?
I think Magic Stone is going to fit the acid splash zone for me.
Seems good.
Mind Sliver.
Mind Sliver. You ever seen this?
I played an Eldritch Horror-inspired Victorian-era woman character who used Mind Sliver constantly, and I think the spell is garbage, but the flavor is...
Yep.
I'm going to put this in B low, just because the flavor really brings it up to par.
Yeah, I like the low B. The other thing that's cool about this is it's an intelligence save, which is really good for like animals and idiots. The one thing that I think makes cantrips for me is like if they are like off like stat for whatever you're looking at, and you can really being rewarded for using your brain and being like, I'm fighting a bear. It probably is not a genius mind sliver. You know what I mean?
Something that's really cool about the cantrips is that a lot of them fill different niches.
Yeah.
And because they're cantrips, you can cast them as often as you want, and you don't have to feel bad about like, ooh, I think that this might work, and you can just try it and go for it.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna move it up to A. I really like Mind Sliver, and not really for any reason.
For me, it's actually now I'm looking better than Acid Splash, and probably actually put it top of B. I think
Top of B.
Top of B.
Shocking Grasp. A little bit of a zip zap zop.
I love that this is so cool that they're like, you know what, plate armor guys, get fucked. And
I think they deserved it.
getting advantage on those is really cool. Now touch sucks.
Yeah. But usually if you're playing with Shocking Grasp, you aren't building a wizard who's sitting in the back. You're playing like, maybe like a druid that runs up and Shocking Grasps and then turns into like a beast.
You could definitely do that. And then on top of that, the other thing that those people could do is have familiars who are just expendable. Most of the time when you get a familiar at the table, everyone's like, oh, I love this. This is my otter. He's my precious person. But sometimes people are just like, no,
he's my Shocking Grasp
He just does,
machine.
he has one life of Shocking Grasp.
Yep.
I send him into battle. He does it, he dies.
Yeah.
Well done. That's cool. I'll put it in.
I am gonna put it here.
It's
Here.
bottom of B for me, I think.
Here.
No, it's above Magic Stone. I think it's really cool. I just love lightning, you know?
Spoilers. Lightning Lure just does everything that this one
Lightning
does,
Lure
but
is
better.
so cool.
It's
Lightning,
way
yeah,
better.
you're right about that.
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Oh, it's like going home. I love a firebolt.
Can you put an S for me too? What's
Delicious.
the deciding S factor for you on this one?
Oh man, it does good damage. It has all of the range that you could ever need. It makes fire. And like the spell says it doesn't have any lingering effects, but if you cast Firebolt in a fireplace or on a torch, it's gonna light up fire.
It also specifically says a flammable thing.
It's badass.
Yeah, for me, it's like every time I want to compare this to another cantrip, it beats the range, it beats the damage, and it has non-com utility. Like, how can you not?
Yeah. The only reason that I see not taking Firebolt is if you have a better option, like if you're playing Warlock, and or if you're playing a specific flavor of magic caster. So like I'm playing a lightning caster or something like that. But here's the thing, Dungeon Master secret. Listen up, come closer. Come closer one more time. You can just ask to change the damage time.
What?
Ryan,
Huh?
what if Hemp said, I would like to cast Firebolt, but I want it to be thunder damage.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
It's
actually.
really easy to just say yes to something like that because it's so cool.
Yeah, and the other thing that's cool about that is like you don't have to do what the rules say. But also at the same time, there are plenty of classes that will let you change the damage type for stuff like this, or maybe that's part of the flavor.
Don't always try and change everything because the feeling of like doing what is proper or wizardly is really cool and has its own flavor. But if you are really stuck on like either one of those paths, just do what feels right. We're letting you in on the Dungeon Master's secret ground floor, okay? You can just ask for things and often you'll get told yes.
Yeah.
As long as your Dungeon Master is based. Mending.
It has such a high like potential, but I almost never see people do it.
Mending is the cantrip of, wow, this is so applicable, and then you never use it ever once in the entire campaign.
I really like it for roleplay though. Like if you're playing an artificer, if you're playing like a tradesman of some kind, I think there's plenty of utility. And especially people who take mending force roleplay with it all the time.
They do.
They're like, hey, this is a hard battle. You got shot with an arrow. Like, can I have your cloak? Like, and they just fix it for you. That's not a mechanic. Like the DM hasn't decided there's a hole in your cloak, but they do that and they create details that would be unavailable basically without this spell.
Mending as a cantrip does all of those things, but I also imagine it on the Wojak bell curve of the idiot who says, mending sounds like a lame cantrip. And then in the very middle, it goes, mending actually is such unique possibilities. And then at the very top, like the most seasoned Dungeons and Dragons players are like, mending is so lame. They know that it can be used, but they're like, why would I use a cantrip slot? I only get so many.
I could see like a ridiculous Gigabrain investigator being like, I always snap my house key when I leave, and then he mends it. he like when he gets home.
That's so sick.
Or like he always breaks the key in the lock. And he has it.
I'm going to C tier. It's cool. It's cool. Don't get in my fucking DMs or do.
I'm gonna put it in
at gmail.com.
A for me.
Yes. A? All right.
I think if you're gonna, this is like the argument you had for Ranger. If you're gonna bring this to my table, you have a plan.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Minor Illusion.
Oh, God.
Another classico. I'm gonna put this at the top of S tier for myself.
This is close to Ryan tier for me. I'd put an S as well.
Wow. Ryan tier, huh?
Close. Well, so the reason is every time someone says, I have Minor Illusion, I'm like, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And usually it makes fun.
Minor Illusion is one of those cantrips that like the floor and ceiling of it just don't exist. You can go as low or as high like skill expression with it as you like, and that makes it so sick.
You can have any sound and any sight and anything.
It's like too powerful.
It's very, very cool.
I would recommend playing a character who doesn't use any spells other than Minor Illusion.
What would be wild is like 1 level of like wizard for Minor Illusion and then 19 levels of fighter, and then just be like, I have the flaming sword of insta-death, and it's like just a little fire illusion.
Spare the Dying.
Ooh.
I am Spare the Dying's greatest hater.
Really?
I really don't like this spell because of a lot of different things. The first being, if you are playing a cleric who wants to heal people and keep them alive, your medicine skill is going to be better for helping somebody become stable than Spare the Dying. I would say generally, as long as you don't have a healing spell ready.
The reason I dislike this cantrip is it takes a unique RP space away. In that, if you're a healer and you're in a long game, like you're in a dungeon, you're out of healing spells. I could see this being relevant, right? But the other people who might actually be like, I am a doctor by trade, but I'm, maybe a wizard. Like I can't cast a spell, but like I do have some medicine training. They no longer have the opportunity to interact with a downed person because it's either someone heals them, or just says, why are you making a check? Spare the Dying, and they invalidate them entirely.
Yes, I have a decree to make.
Oh God.
I am reworking Spare the Dying.
No. Say it ain't so.
Spare the Dying now, if someone is at 0 HP and unconscious, brings them up to 1 HP.
You've gone entirely mad with power.
That's it. That's how it goes.
I think you could do that if there was a trade-off.
Don't care. Didn't ask.
That's true. That's Drew. I think actually though, the only problem with that, because then you just constantly get up and like that's a really tough thing in like.
I mean, it takes your healer's action.
It does take your healer's action. I think there should be like a penalty to this. Like if they get up this way and like they go down in the next minute, there's like a failed death save or 2 failed death saves right away.
If clerics and druids can already take guidance, I want them to be able to take Spare the Dying and feel just as good.
Yeah, I do think as it exists currently, it just hurts everyone. I don't really like it.
My newly reworked Spare the Dying, I'm putting into A tier.
I'm gonna follow the rules for once and just put it at C. I think it's fine, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you're really allergic to the F tier, huh?
Well, like, the problem is if it has some role play, I think it's cool.
I disagree.
I do think we'll see an F tier cantrip at some point.
Friends.
Now, before we talk about friends, I would like to remind you the F tier exists. And there are certain cantrips that I think are bad.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna say Frostbite a little bit.
Why is Friends bad, Drew? Because it's Friends. We're making friends.
Friends is bad because the person that you cast Friends on knows exactly who is doing and what they're doing and how it's happening, and it's really sad.
It would be one thing if the spell said you magically altered their mood, and then they know that, and then they can react in the way that would be right for them. The spell specifically says, when the spell ends, blah, 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 becomes hostile to you.
Yeah.
Like immediately. So
Is that really what
it is what it says word for word. It's cool as like I'm a bard, I'm in an unknown castle, I gotta get in and save the king or kill the king or something that the consequences are another problem.
Yep.
And like then you're like, friend, go, 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 go. I get it.
I am going to put it in C tier. Someone who isn't good at charisma and the party is lacking a face character would be able to use friends. It's just tough because of that.
It's
last
so
line.
temperate. It's only a minute.
I'm reworking this one too. Don't do the hostile
It's
thing.
only a minute. I'm gonna put it in F.
Yeah. Poison spray.
Classic. This is like the druid staple.
I took poison spray and I didn't like it so much that I removed it for a cantrip that does nothing.
I think that save or suck spells are really bad. But also, I think that it's got some flavor. I'll put it in C. I don't usually take it, but I think it's fine. It's better than Sword Burst, but I would take Frostbite over it any day.
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy.
Hey, ever played a tiefling? Then you know what the spell is.
Thaumaturgy
or you should.
is divine prestidigitation.
Yep.
If you tell your dungeon master, I do a cool thing by using Thaumaturgy, 9 times out of 10, they won't look it up or care. Because they'll be like, ah, yes, divine magic tricks.
Sure.
Let it go.
It's,
for
yeah,
me.
it's like the thing about thaumaturgy that isn't accomplished by minor illusion or prestidigitation that is super interesting is getting hyper-specific effects. Rather, getting hyper-specific effects that you want in the moment. Thaumaturgy only does like slamming and opening doors on and off for lamps and lights and then loud distant sounds. And like, that's it. And prestidigitation and minor illusion both just have more options than that.
Just pulled up the description. The last
actually gonna
bullet point,
drop it.
it
Fuck it.
says, you alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. Tiefling, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, that's such an interesting, you get basically bad disguised self.
I'm gonna make my eyes really big.
The loud voice thing is just
Yeah.
wonderful. The Dumbledore, silence!
Yeah.
That's great.
Get me a glass of milk.
I said chalky milk.
Blade Ward.
Yeah.
I have never taken this and I never will.
I really like this effect as like a minor magical item effect. I think that's
What's
cool.
the action economy? It's an action.
It is an action. Lasts for 1 round. Self only.
I am reworking Blade Ward. Take this into account, all dungeon masters. It is now a
team
bonus
spell.
action.
Oh. I had a homebrew class that was like based on like runes of power, and we were taking shitty cantrips and making them a little better. This one became a friendly Blade Ward. You could give it to someone else, like either as a reaction or a bonus action. But that becomes cool. That's like a teamwork thing. And like that has an interesting effect where you're like, oh, my cleric needs to run and save our bard who's dying, but he's gonna go past a bunch of kobolds. Like, Blade Ward, like, good luck, buddy, do the run. Like, fucking C for me.
Okay. I'm putting newly buffed Blade Ward that I just created into B tier.
Yeah, as a bonus action,
above
this would be
Acid
cool.
Splash.
This would be cool.
I like the idea that Spare the Dying and Blade Ward are so bad normally that they're literally like hanging out and holding hands, and I'm trying to save them. Guidance. It's the
Guidance.
strongest cantrip in the entire game.
Is
and
this
nothing
Drew
else
tier?
comes close. No, because it's not my favorite. Although it is incredible, it's not my favorite.
I really like and hate this cantrip because if it's in your party, you get to just add a D4 to fucking everything.
Yep.
But also that means every time you're like, I'd like to intimidate them, someone goes, I cast guidance.
Yep.
And they literally like reach over and touch you, which is cool and fine and wonderful. But it's every single action forever.
Yeah.
So the only other way to do that is just assume you have guidance on everything, which is, again, fine. But it's so good. It's there everywhere. I would put it at bottom of S. I agree with you. But it does basically change the game to guidance rolls. We play a home game, and this is probably the most interesting use. That's like magic is literally illegal, basically. Like, you're hunted as a magic person.
And now guidance is a question.
Yes, because if you're out in public and you're having a charismatic conversation, now it's a matter of being discovered and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find that to be really interesting, is redeeming for me. But in a high magic campaign, like if someone walks into your store as a shopkeeper, they're like, hold on, they go get their seeing eye guidance dog.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
They're like, oh,
I'm gonna be selling this guy everything.
Exactly.
Jesse, give me a kiss. Prestidigitation.
Where's mine?
It's on the tier list.
Got it.
Not in front of the camera.
Okay.
Man. Prestidigitation.
Yes.
This is in the pantheon of the big 3: minor illusion, thaumaturgy, prestidigitation, minor illusion, thaumaturgy, prestidigitation, minor illusion, thaumaturgy, prestidigitation, minor illusion, thaumaturgy, prestidigitation, minor illusion, thaumaturgy, prestidigitation. Oh, this is almost Drew tier.
This could be Ryan tier too. I'm not sure yet. What would
No,
you
I
see-
have mine in my head. I need to stay strong.
What would you say the most common use for this spell is that you've seen?
Oh, to clean the shit or piss off of somebody.
I would have said the blood from a murder.
Nope.
But usually when people are like, they do something heinous and the evidence needs to be removed, the wizard is back there with his like magnetic ShamWow just being like, brr, brr. Yeah.
Microwaving the dirt off of people.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, super true.
I'll take it an S as well. It's above Minor Illusion for me. It's hard to say. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better than Firebolt, but definitely better than Minor Illusion.
Thorn Whip. I am not a druid player. If you could have guessed from our classes tier list video, which you should watch now if you haven't watched it. It was a great time.
It's like over his face. Right now.
Holy Thorn Whip is so funny. It is just so awesome to just be like, haha, Cliff.
This is basically the same spell as Lightning Lure.
We're being interrupted by our druid.
We actually were just about to talk about druid spells. You want to do a cameo? Have you heard of Thorn Whip?
I know a thing or two about Thorn.
Come on.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Thorn Whip?
Thorn Whip's pretty cool. I've used it once and I think I missed. But it's very cool. I feel like there's been instances where I've put the cantrip away and then I've been
Chuck, I need it.
it would be so useful right now.
Yes.
What do you think? A, B, C, F?
I'd put it in B.
Yep.
I would say
Yeah?
B.
Upper B for me. I agree.
Chase is looking like, well, look at all these words I don't know. Thank you, Chase.
That's B for based in my opinion.
B for base for sure. B for base. Moving back. Booming Blade.
Booming Blade. Have you ever used this?
Nope.
Neither have I.
I think it's like hit a person and then do more damage to them later, which for Gish characters, super cool. I do want to put it pretty high because I think it's really cool.
I would put it in above Magic Stone.
Above
In B.
Magic Stone.
In B.
I see.
That's where I would put it. I think cool.
Super sick.
Cool.
Very basic. Gust.
Gust.
Another really just funny cantrip.
It's funny, but like, have you seen anyone do anything real with it?
Well, no, never, and nobody ever will.
Yeah.
But like, kind of funny.
It's cute.
I'm putting it in C tier.
I'm
putting it in B tier. It's funny.
in a nautical campaign, it was kind of adorable when people would get seasick. I had someone like gust their face. It was adorable. I think it's fine in C. Above Spare the Dying. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think anything is going to
It just kind of doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't really do a lot.
Primal Savagery. This is Druid turns into like an animal form and then does an attack.
Yeah, they get sharp claws and stuff. The flavor is so cool.
Why
but-
wouldn't you ever just cast Shillelagh?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I want to say that my tier list making is based on the idea that you aren't someone who knows exactly what they want out of the flavor of a character, and this is based mostly on mechanics. And with that in mind, Primal Savagery is basically a useless cantrip to me because Shillelagh will always do it better.
Primal Savagery is a really cool bad guy spell. An evil
That's
cult
true.
of druids, fantastic.
I'm
So
gonna put it above Swordburst. Below Swordburst.
it feels to me like around Frostbite tier,
Yeah,
especially because it's like melee only, you know?
yeah. Thunderclap.
Thunderclap.
I don't know what this spell does.
This is
I don't
like-
know why I was so excited.
This is like the baby thunder wave. It's a 5-foot self sound based
Does it knock
damage
back?
spell. No.
Then what the fuck did they do when they cooked this spell?
This one's cool because it canonically, like rules is written, is heard super far away. So like that's like an intimidate. You walk into a group of goblins, you thunderclap, they're like, ah! You know what I mean? It's got an intimidation factor. Why are you putting this?
That's better than Poison Spray.
You're now canonically saying that Thunderclap is worse than Friends.
Yeah.
It's better than Swordburst, in my opinion, because they're the same thing and one's loud. So I'd put it at top of C below Frostbite.
Top of C below Frostbite. I see.
My C tier is C for huge.
Yeah, that's super true. Chill Touch.
I love Chill Touch.
The ranged necrotic spell.
It is, and like the random bonus effects that get, it's really cool.
Super duper good. The thing is that I don't like to take it because I hate the name.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
it. That's the whole reason.
So it does two bonus things that I really love. The first is that they can't regain hit points until the start of their next turn. I don't see a save on that, and the hand clings,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
I'm gonna put it bottom of S.
But
it's
also,
really good.
But it also gives undead disadvantage on the next attack against you. It is, which is far more specific. But being able to stop healing, I think, is really cool.
It super is cool, and the fact that this is a cantrip is kind of wild. This strikes me as an evil villain cantrip.
That or a pretty specified build or whatever. So when you hear Chill Touch, it's like you think an ice spell. You make a ghostly skeletal hand.
Yep.
And it grabs onto
The
them.
name is the worst thing that exists.
Agreed. I really like this. I might put this at Ryan tier, reserve judgment later. Well,
I'm gonna put it at S to hold it there. Or do you want to
Just put it there for now. Put it there for
in
now.
Ryan?
I don't see that much else here that we'll get there.
Wow.
We'll get there. I think
It's getting to sit in first class.
it is.
Infestation. Ew.
Ew.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's cool that it's kind of got.
This feels like a good evil guy spell. We'll put it in C above Sword Burst.
Man, you really are not a fan of cantrips.
Well, just some of them are just so oddly specific. You really think this bugs out of my butt is higher than C?
Well, no, you're right. Produce flame.
Oh.
Hey, ever wanted firebolt, but
But you can't.
funnier?
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna put it in S tier.
Firebolt is Firebolt. Firebolt. Produce flame is like
Yeah, baseball.
yeah. So you can hold on to this one. I think it goes right next to Firebolt and is it's fine.
Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead.
Wow. Toll the Dead is a lot.
I think it's very fun flavor-wise, but again, save or suck.
I think Toll the Dead is like right in between S and A for me. I really like it. I think I'm gonna put it at top of A.
So
and you know what? I'm gonna move Chill Touch down just below it.
functionally, this is just another poison spray, but this is a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, but it does increase damage on people that have already taken damage,
That's true. I would say,
and that's
isn't-
almost everybody all the time.
But it goes to 1d12, which is what I thought poison spray was.
No, I don't think
It is.
so.
The difference is con for 1d12 or wisdom for 1d8 or 1d12 if they've been hurt. Con is bad against big beasts, usually like sorcerers too sometimes have
Yep.
con, great barbarians,
like fighters and warriors.
Yeah,
you know?
all those things are going to be hard to do with poison spray.
Wow.
But your baby wizards,
Wow.
your rogues, those kinds of things typically will be very con weak. Now, wisdom is the exact opposite. Your barbarians, your bears, those kinds of things, those will never resist like wisdom very well unless they have a special ability for it, which some do. I think that's why I feel Toll the Dead is better, because usually if I'm in cantrip mode, I'm fighting back 1,000 boars.
Yeah. While you were speaking and I was not listening to you, I was
Excellent.
doing a little bit of tooling of my tier list. I moved Frostbite up. I moved Poison Spray up. I
So
realized
Toll-
that I think I might, and Toll the Dead down a bunch. I think Chill Touch is going to be my new gatekeeper to S tier. How are you putting Toll the Dead?
Toll the Dead, I think, is great flavor, though. The whole bell tolls, all that. I'll put that at bottom of B. And now that I'm saying this, Frostbite, in my opinion, we've done dirty. I'll put that at bottom of B as well. I think it's better than Thunderclap.
Control Flames.
Ah.
This is like Produce Flame, but lamer.
Yeah, it's not quite as powerful, I think, but it is really cool. That whole scene, like, I'll use Dumbledore again, where he walks down the road and just snuffs out all the lights.
Oh yeah.
Thing to do.
Thaumaturgy does that.
Yes, that's true. But also, this is for druids and sorcerers and wizards. And they don't get thaumaturgy, I
That's
think.
true.
Well, sorcerers and wizards don't.
I think this spell is really weird.
Yeah, I don't actually think it is that effective. think
I
it's
don't
cool.
even really know that much of the text of the spell.
Basically, you can affect flame by like putting it out, moving it, or double or dim, anything like that. But it doesn't say anything about damage.
I don't know. I think this is really bad.
It's not that
I
great.
think I'm putting it in F tier.
I think I would just put it above infestation, call it a day. So like here, yep.
Create Bonfire.
Create bonfire.
We're back to good fire spells.
Create bonfire.
I'm putting this one in S tier.
Yeah, this was close
It's
to.
so sick. Putting down something that people have to walk through, like,
Yeah, so this is close to Ryan tier, and this was the other candidate for me because you concentrate up to a minute and you get a bonfire, which I think is so cool. I can just have fire, a whole cooking fire, forever, whenever I want. But exactly like you said, you can put it in doorways and make a trap.
where are you putting it?
Top of A for now.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we've made it.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah, this
Light.
is such a...
The
Now,
Drew spell.
Let me challenge you. Why not dancing lights?
I like putting light on something and then throwing it. And so I have played characters with light a lot. And something that I love to do, this is a original. I've copyrighted this, but you can use it if you'd like. I'm a utility caster. I have nothing to do. My favorite thing is to just run into the middle of a combat, touch an opponent on the eyeballs, and cast light on their retinas. It is my favorite thing to do.
You monster.
Yeah, no, I'm an evil person.
I've come around a little bit on disliking light for one simple reason. Darkness in D&D is such a cool thing, but the second you build like a cave and everyone goes, I have dark vision, I have light, I have this,
Yeah.
I have infernal sight, I have all this shit, you're like,
Yep.
okay, cool, we can't do any like light or dark imagery or anything like that.
Yep.
It's a great cantrip. I'll put it at bottom of S. I think it's right there with guidance. You know,
Yeah.
when you said you cast it on retinas, my first thought was, have you killed a man?
No.
Okay.
Usually the dungeon master says, huh? And then I say, I cast light on his eyeballs. And they say, no, I heard you the first time. How does that work on the spell? And I go, it doesn't. You have to make something
Yeah,
up.
good luck.
Ray of Frost.
Beautiful.
Hey, best friends to Firebolt just called.
This is like the most competitive alternative because it gives it slow, which is cool. I'm gonna put it at the top of A though.
Sounds good.
Shoot them. Oh no. Drew, I don't think we. I will give you 30 seconds of True Strike, and then we will probably table it because this video is going to be too long if we do this.
Just attack twice.
You get advantage as an action on your next attack.
Strike. These are my 30 seconds.
Oh, go ahead.
Don't use True Strike. Just attack twice. Here is my decree, my final rework. True Strike is a bonus action. Everyone says True Strike is a bonus action. Guess what? Everyone's taking it. Good. True Strike deserves to be decent for once. It's a bonus action now. And the last ones were just me. This one is for everybody. That's the rule now. Change the text. Write the errata.
Fair enough. What he means is it gives you advantage on your next attack as an action, so you could just attack twice. The worst case scenario, you miss twice. If you have advantage and you roll low enough to miss twice, you're still gonna miss twice. Now, I have a case for it, which would be an assassin waiting in the shadows. You wanna make your attack with advantage, but if you're already hidden.
If you're an assassin, you already have advantage.
Yeah, exactly. There aren't that many good cases for it. I think it has some space if you would give True Strike to a friend. That would be cool, but that's just called the help action.
Yep.
So basically what I mean is I have no cases for it. I would put that under F for friends.
Yes. My buffed True Strike, I am putting in S tier.
I think that would be pretty good. Dancing Lights.
Dancing Lights is cool.
You can make a little guy.
The only reason I don't like Dancing Lights as much as Light is because there's more to think about.
Yeah, you have to move it around.
Something that I like to do, the Light cantrip creates a bonding moment between you and whoever's weapon you're casting Light on,
that's true.
which is like, you can guide us. And that's really cool.
I
And
love
Dancing
that.
Light is like, I'm the best. And it's just Dancing Lights and everyone's
You
like,
can
wow,
do
cool.
like Disco Nunu, the
Thanks, bro.
Dancing Light spell.
Yeah, dude.
I think for me, bottom of A, fantastic spell. The roleplay opportunities are great, but I would much rather give my paladin a light sword. That's
Yep.
cool.
I'm gonna put it in bottom of A.
As a crotchety old wizard man being like, hey, Mr. Paladin, have a cool light shield.
Yep.
Like, that's mine.
So good.
That's great.
Where are you putting it?
Bottom of A.
Yeah, I think it deserves that spot.
Cool.
Lightning Lure. I fucking love Lightning Lure.
I love
I used to
Lightning
play
Lure
a Treant Warlock who would hold a sword out and then Lightning Lure people into it. I don't even think it's good. I'm putting it in S tier. It's so fucking sick.
I actually think
so
it's
sick.
good because this is a strength save,
Yes.
which is
and it's so
very,
unique.
very relevant.
God, it's so sick.
This was the first cantrip I took on a long-term character I played that was like a bird wizard, and if you're flying and you pull people towards you, they fall, which is really funny.
Yep.
So I think I will put this. This is Ryan's here actually. Could you chill touch me down to the bottom? Yeah, just in there somewhere. That's fine.
Hey guys, Resistance. I'm giving it a buff. I lied. It wasn't the last one. I'm gonna give Resistance the bonus action treatment too. It deserves it. Guess what? It deserves it. Just get over yourselves. It deserves it. It's just guidance for saves. You should be able to have that. If I'm rating it on my rework, I'm putting it at the top of A tier. I don't even think it makes sense. Just let people cast bonus actions.
I think this would be cool as a reaction. Once around, you could give someone a D4.
That's fine too.
I love that. But I think as it currently sits, I'd put it in C. C for cantrip.
Yep. C for Cantrip. Vicious Mockery. Man,
Oh.
no better opportunity to just talk shit to people.
This is S
Yep,
for me.
this is top of S
Top
for
of
me.
S, I agree.
It's
Do
this-
you? The one thing your prerogative as a dungeon master, force your players to tell mean jokes or insults when
Yes.
they cast this. I love giving them the opportunity, as like all of our players are really nice people in real life. So like making them give me an insult off the cuff is just so fun because they have to their brain has to redo and be like,
Yes.
"You smell," and I'm like, "You did it." Nice.
Vicious Mockery excels on all axioms that you view it. It's so incredible.
I love that cantrip. It's great.
Mage Hand. Also S tier, I think.
Interesting.
I think that people might want to lump this in with Mending, but
No, it's way better.
Mage Hand is way more utilitous. I think I might even put it over Minor Illusion. If I can take Mage Hand, I am taking it.
As the original spell, I think it's top of A. I find myself picking other things other than that, but if you get something that gives you a better mage hand, like Arcane Trickster or something like that, it's the most powerful cantrip of them all.
Sacred Flame. I mean, this is a staple cleric spell,
Yeah.
obviously. Is it good? Not really.
It does radiant damage, which is
Not
relevant
really.
sometimes. I put it in B.
You'd put it in B.
Like above Thorn Whip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm putting it
60 feet isn't bad.
Sacred Flame and Toll the Dead are best friends.
Yeah, I can see that.
Word of Radiance.
Oh, yeah, another
This
one of those.
is the AoE Radiant. Wow, just disgusting. Goodbye. I'll never see you again.
I
Have
like
a good trip.
I like radiant damage as an option, as a backup, because sometimes you need to kill undead and have them be dead.
Yeah.
I think it's better than sword burst though, but maybe not better than bugs. Yeah.
Druidcraft. Hey,
Druidcraft.
remember prestidigitation?
Yeah, yeah,
Druids
yeah.
have that too, but for their stuff.
I'll put it at bottom of S as well.
Bottom of S.
I love the mental image of growing a little plant in your hand and all that stuff.
It's just so
beautiful.
nice. Like, just hand around flowers. Shape Water.
Yeah.
That was a bad movie.
Did you watch that?
No.
Oh.
I have no opinion on Shape
Close.
of Water.
The thing about Shape Water, it's basically control flame, except I find that water is more dangerous in a campaign than fire is.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I still don't think it's the best. It's cool.
I love suffocation casters.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
I'm going to put it at the top of A tier.
Really? Why?
Yes. I think that it's goofy. And honestly, that's all it really needs to be for me. And then getting to Shape Water, somebody's like blood into ice is always a fun discussion to have.
Yeah, I will put it at bottom of B because I think it has some unique things. But if my players are like, I put water in their lungs, I'm like, no.
Like making an ice slick is so funny
That
too.
is cool.
Eldritch Blast is maybe the best damaging spell. In 5th edition.
Leveled spell.
I don't know if we need to say anything else other than that.
If you
and people will say, oh, but heavy crossbow does the same. Nope, heavy crossbow has loading. Oh, I can take a feat to ignore loading. Now you are taking a feat for it, brother. It's fine. Eldritch Blast can be the best. It's kind of cool that it's the best. Everyone has a signpost to look at. Just let it be the best.
As it is, it does cool damage at good range of a great type, and you get multiple beams eventually, which is sick.
Yes.
But if you're a warlock, then you can start doing things like adding your charisma, or making it push people, or extending the range.
The demon inside of me is wanting to put Eldritch Blast in the F tier. And let me explain to you why. Eldritch Blast is the best damaging cantrip, spell in the entire game, but it means that you usually can only do it 1 or 2 ways, which is a shame because there are a lot of invocations that change it, make it creative and fun. But fuck that, you can never have it. You must play it the best way.
Yeah, although I will say this is really helpful for newer players because then they don't have as many things to juggle around. They're like, I know Eldritch Blast is good. I can mess around with the sleep spell, and then when that fails, I'll just Eldritch Blast.
Yes. I'm gonna put it in bottom of B tier, and that's the best you're gonna get.
I'll put it at bottom of S. I do think it has the combat utility there. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. 2 more. Shillelagh.
This is S for Shillelagh for sure.
Yeah, S for Shillelagh. It's easy.
It does take a lot of economy. I believe it's a bonus action, and then you make the attack as well.
But it doesn't really matter.
It's so great to give your old your old druid a chance to battle with the big boys. And a magic stick is so cool.
It's just fun. This is like one of the spells that was clearly made to be like, okay, baby Dungeons and Dragons player, you can, do whatever you want, and it's kind of fun and like do some magic. And I think True Strike is a trap. And why did they make these the same level of spell? How could they have fucked up so badly? It's so insane that True Strike and
Mr. Wizard of the Coast, what he's trying to say is, we love you, but we're glad that you don't care about the rules, because if you did, they would be 2 different levels. What if I put True Strike and Ryan tier? Because I will take this sin and no one else can have it.
You will be the Jesus Christ of True Strike.
I will just take it.
Wow.
And Code Thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, that's from that one Harry Potter movie where they do the thing and then they do the thing and it's kind of icky.
The whole idea was thought spies and other things like that.
I think this may be the worst cantrip other than True Strike, which I have just reworked permanently for every campaign on the planet.
I can't, in good conscience, put anything lower than True Strike.
I understand.
So I'm putting this...
It's because you're dealing with old True Strike.
Before...
Catch up with the times.
True Strike, but after Friends.
Make him look really old, Jesse.
I think... Fuck this cantrip.
Yep.
That's it for me.
These are all of the cantrips, and this is how good they are. This is the definitive tier list, but we have to decide which one of these is definitive. So, Ryan, as the reigning champion, if you would like to roll first and tell me what you get, bud.
I'm calling my shot. This is going to be a 7.
Wow.
A 5.
That was not a 7. Can't believe you would lie to me like that. I rolled a 15.
Fuck.
Let's go! I'm on the board, baby.
All right, well.
I finally won, and my tier list is better. And oh man,
Are we
I'm
tied
riding this
now?
high like crazy. No, you have 2 victories.
That's right. I couldn't remember. I'm
Don't-
old.
Yeah, you couldn't
Oh.
remember. Sure.
All right,
right.
well, good job on your tier list. Mine sucks. Can you do it?
Yeah,
Mine?
yours is garbage.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
All right.